I remember last year, there was a guy who jumped off the Tanganyika building in the CBD in Harare. So I would like to think, I don't know why he did it, but I would like to think it's something that's related to Mjolo.
Yeah, I mean, relationships are something.
But what other things do you think could lead to?
I don't know. How old was the person? Was he like a high school kid?
I think it was in his uni.
Yeah,
He was
uni school, because I remember school.
Yeah.
Most likely, I don't know, maybe feeling trapped or stuck in a certain space.
Okay.
Because sometimes as people, when you're stuck, it's hard for you to ask for help if you're not used to asking for help. So, or asking for help when those environments, the environment you grew up in never allowed you to be that person to ask for help. So most likely felt stuck, or maybe he did something shady. Who knows?
I don't know.
So the multiple factors that lead to someone then saying, you know what, I'm done with this. Let me see what the afterlife has for me. If some people believe in afterlife, I believe in it.
I also do.
Yeah, because I think Tijuya Pano, we were saying, Kuti, you be grateful for waking up.
Yeah.
Because you might even wake up, you might not even wake up, or you might wake up being like, piece of
You know.
oh no, piece of it. Moses, do you hear?
Yeah.
Like
I think it's a gift, like getting to wake up and just saying, I'm alive. Yeah.
So the multiple factors that say that would factor someone taking their lives, because I know people, Antka, that mask away reality from substances, and I think we all do it. We mask away
in some way. Maybe it might be the phone, it might be TikTok, might be drugs, might be women.
True. But all those things that you mentioned are a factor of fulfillment.
Okay.
We are creatures that need to be fulfilled and who need a sense of purpose in life.
Okay.
So if you feel like you have a sense of purpose in whatever you do, most likely, even if you schedule kuti on October 2023 on 2029 at 13:22 I'm going to kill myself. And then 13:21 someone says, wow, let's meet up, let's do something, let's do a project. You're like, let me reschedule it for the next day, and the next day, like, you keep on rescheduling it because now you're having fulfillment in whatever you're doing. Having
a purpose
in life, it allows you to keep on going no matter what. That's why I feel like some people then start taking substances. I think the problem lies within the abuse. When you overdo it now, you're overdoing the women because, or even for women, if you overdo the men, there's a high probability of either getting pregnant or catching an STI. Or kutsingo badeni. How, because unenza wangu yenda kwa ukuswele or 29. And if it's for substances, as guys or as people, we might start by let's just pass a blunt. Let's experiment.
Let's start with one blunt,
and then 2, and then 3, and then it's now 4 per day, and then you find that you're now addicted to it. Like, you can't go or you can't do whatever task you're doing without taking a blunt or even drinking. Because I also do stand-up comedy. When I started, I thought if I drink, I perform better. And then I realized, no, when I drink, I sound terrible. Hey, my opportunities are when you perform and then people laugh. But when you actually try to get serious with it and get into a more chilled environment, and then you perform under the influence on others and not under the influence, you can see the dynamics, because in your head, some things are funny And some things are funny generally.
But they're not funny.
They're not funny. So you lie to yourself, especially when you're under influence. It's easy to lie to yourself. When I said no, it came from a show. I performed 0 laughs. 0.
No one left.
No one left.
Damn.
And then, because you start seeing people going on their phones, busy texting, they're like,
hey, showing you with actually typing to the other person,
then people will start talking to each other, and that's when you say, you're not really pulling in the crowd. And then you get off stage and like, okay, what can I do different? So when I said, let me perform sober, same material, performing it sober, you get 1 or 2 less, because now you can judge, this works, this doesn't work, and then what changed the mannerism. When you're under the influence, sometimes you go, hey, variable.
Dude, you remember when I asked you, how do you do stand-up comedy? Like, dude, making people laugh. I think it becomes difficult when you intentionally now want to make people laugh. Instead of just being like when people laugh and you're just doing you. How does that go, man?
It's different. I grew up as a quiet kid. Like completely like So I did it as a mistake. I actually wanted to do something completely different. I wanted to perform like skits on stage, and then all of a sudden, I wanted to a stand-up comedian, and like, boy, teacher told me to stand up. You're like, shit.
And you're starting from there.
Started from there. But I would perform drunk. So when you shift and then take it a little bit more serious, writing down your material, performing it,
practicing it in front of other people.
Exactly. You'd also then discover what as humans or as a culture or as people, there are things that are universally funny, and there are things that we can make funny depending on a situation. Zimbabweans were natural comedians.
Dude, the way we just make everything into a joke.
That's also comes from our depression.
So are you saying with comedy in a way is how we indulge and consume comedy? It's also a sign of depression, mental health.
True.
But it's a serious issue.
But we make fun of it.
But we make fun of it and we laugh and we forget. But we don't really, get into trying to figure out how we can actually change this.
We can't. We really can't, because just like how drugs, for example, I have homies that taste 1-2 plants, as 10-15 plants a day for them to be functional. And
functional is in productive, or functional is just being there?
Just being there.
Just going through the day.
Just going through the day.
Not good they are going to work or anything.
Even going to work. Oh, that's how they go to work.
Or they have to be high.
Yeah. That's how you see Kutukanga Pachoka.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. So we had a discussion over the weekend. They were like, Jonet's of Zimbabwe, oh, he's sober. Don't put on my drugs. I'm like, no, you don't need drugs. But you just need clarity. But clarity, they had to go for it.
Well, they're actually avoiding clarity.
They're avoiding reality, because reality says we are in a sticky situation. Like, generally, when it's a sticky situation, that it's better we laugh about it, or
get intoxicated.
We get intoxicated that the next morning, shit, man, and then from that, already you're now hooked, you're addicted, because you're so used to intoxication that when a problem arises, with a clear mindset, you can't you can't process it well. You need an additional support.
You need the Mary Jane.
Yeah, it's Mary Jane. Oh, so you know that the skunk. So when you find that you're at a place like that, and then we take it away from you, you're more prone to suicide, because when you go through withdrawals, because I went through withdrawals when I actually stopped smoking, and when I stopped drinking for a bit. Yo,
that's tough.
Yo, that you know that when you're drinking, you can go a few weeks without drinking. Now when you're not drinking, like actively not drinking at all, you can wake up in the middle of the night just saying, I just want something, I just want to taste. Like you really want it.
The craving.
But you also have to learn new habits. Like I'm learning how to read so that I can stop other bad habits. And it has been better because I never loved reading. Like generally, one who's reading a book, now I've got 2 sentences in outload. I can say, I can put a goal, 10 pages a day. Take my time. I pace myself. I have to finish that goal. And when you pace yourself, when you try to do something, an old habit, like an old bad habit, for me it was constantly drinking. I can be like, one black label, one quote, bro. And then like, but me I didn't book up wearing. And then you see that by the end of the day, my touch up and like, and then mangwana anoshika, and then you keep on reading your book, and you end up not doing your old bad habits because you already started a new habit to replace those old habits. And it also comes within the fulfillment aspect,
like the purpose.
And purpose. And when you're usually feeling trapped as generally trapped as an individual, you need to step back and breathe. Whatever environment you're in, just walk away from it. Most likely that kid who jumped off the building, he probably didn't have like an way to outpour his emotions, or the circles he was in, maybe he tries to tell people and then people don't listen.
Yeah.
Like boys,
people don't. I think everyone has a fair share of their problems to listen to another person's problem. But sometimes it becomes too late.
True.
I think we should be empathetic. You know, something, I was thinking about something. I also think it's very important to develop a community around you. I was thinking about you stopping, or someone stopping, taking in drugs and to cope. That also means you probably need to change your environment. You need to change the people you hang around with. I feel community is a very important thing in that transitional process of becoming, someone who now decides, no, I need to have purpose. But for me to chase after that purpose, I need to have a clear head.
True.
So I need to stop taking drugs. So now I also need people around me that will support me, that will strengthen me. But there are times of this, it could come back.
Yeah, and also I want on the record, like I want people to actually know this and put emphasis on this. Wakauza munhu kuti amire, munhu amire. Munhu anomira paanokwanisa kumira. And you can only do so much to save a person. When I stopped drinking, I was from church. I said, Mira, it wasn't my own decision, just like weed. Unlike weed. Weed was my own decision. It was my decision to say, nah, bo. And then drinking, on the other hand, drinking was mostly like
from the conversation we were having, I also feel like substance abuse is also a form of suicide. I got the impression that, of course, our topic was around suicide, but I also feel like you are slowly, wasting away your life. It's as good as, committing suicide.
It is, because you're killing your health. You might feel good at the time, Antka, but your liver is taking whatever substance you're taking, your blood is clotting, your lungs on the other hand, even your teeth. And I can tell you everything, but what is killing what? Liver, alcohol. Your lungs, smoking. I try to vape. Yeah, it seems okay.
Kana shisha.
Yeah, kana shisha, because shisha actually has more nicotine than a cigarette.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It actually has more nicotine than an actual cigarette.
Do the people who take it?
Some people know. Some people really, really know.
Because there are other people that make it seem like, it's, I don't smoke, I do shisha. They are two different things. But shisha is healthy. Shisha is healthy.
It is. It's really one thing. And with shisha, we should also talk about, there's a place somewhere in Zimbabwe where they make their own shishas. It's not the ones that no one at these days at, but it's a tribe of women that make their own shisha bottles. I forgot the place. And they actually just smoke it on a regular. But for them, it's a bit more healthy because it's not added with nicotine or chapo yata chaire. It's for them when to gadzira from actual natural herbs at the time. So you're like, okay, so difference is yenyu processed.
Synthetic.
This one isn't.
Yes, yeah. Like, I really want to go back as we wrap up. I really want to go back to the issue of purpose. That's such a powerful thing that you said there. I think purpose, personally speaking, I've had moments where I was so depressed. I think everyone gets their fair share of depression.
Yeah.
But things like this podcast, things like me in real estate, things like other side projects that you'll be doing, they keep me going. There's obviously a bigger picture in my head of where I want to go with all this.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a purpose. I have something that I'm aiming for. How can someone develop purpose from your own experience, from someone who was transitioning through all this?
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure everything out. But it also came to a conclusion of me asking myself, what am I good at and what has been the most consistent thing in my life?
Okay.
And I figured out that entertainment was something that I am consistent in. Although I love technology, I discovered that with technology, I was living through someone's eyes unknowingly.
Okay.
So when I got into entertainment and all that, and then I started doing it well because I don't have proper education towards it, but I invest time and effort and energy to learn these things.
Yeah. And
when I figured out that with all that I've invested into it, all the knowledge that I have sort of a purpose, because I know that this is information that didn't come easy.
Yeah.
It's information that came within hours, days, weeks, and I'm happy when I'm doing these things. And for people to find whatever works for them, it's a matter of what makes you happy with a clear state of mind.
Okay.
If you feel like you need to smoke a blunt to make a blockbuster movie or to build one of the best buildings ever, that's okay.
Do you?
I'm not gonna judge you, but don't do it up to the point that you can't progress in life. Like Maria who yes shouldn't go ikoko, or the little that you make, you can be like, I've made money, now it's $50 bow, or now $50 kuma substances, now $50 ku vakadzi, and tombo timune $100. And they were like, it's not edging up, because you'd be left with $50 now, and that other $50 might be able to, this day and age, to and from.
Yeah.
And then got data.
Yeah.
But you also have to think about eating. You have to think about what can you invest in, what else can you do with the money that you have, so that you can either build upon it so that it can become more. And a lot of people don't see that.